I just want to welcome everyone to the call and everyone who's watching the recording later. We have a lot of new exciting features that have been launched inside of TIS, and there are more to come. So please pay attention to all of those email communications that are coming into your inbox. Please also don't forget that the DOT ruling around airline refunds goes into effect at the end of this month. We will be pushing out guidance with detailed information on how to work with packaged suppliers, airline consolidators. We have input from Allianz Travel Insurance. We're providing you with all of the necessary disclaimers and disclosures to include in your email communication with your customers. We will be updating the terms and conditions as well, and also just delineating the ruling and what that means for your agency, even if you are not the merchant of record, which many of our advisors are not the merchant of record. So please watch for that. That is coming out. We plan to release it toward the end of this month. So I'm really excited to have Sean Caulfield here today. I met Sean at GTM East in Fort Lauderdale a couple of months ago. And, you know, I booked a lot of villas for my clients, but I all in Italy, but I always found it so challenging to really work with companies who, one, have a lot of offerings, but two, really know that area. We have a lot of aggregators in our industry of villas, but a lot of times they don't have boots on the ground to really understand not only the region, but how to best serve your customers. So I wish I were actively booking today, because I would definitely
You'd be very welcome.
use their product. But as soon as we met, I just loved what you guys were doing. And I said, I have got to have you guys on to share what you guys are doing in the Tuscany region and how you can work with travel advisors. So without further ado, I'm going to let you take over from here, and I'll go ahead and authorize screen sharing. So welcome, guys.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your introduction. It was obviously a great pleasure to meet you. I think GTM was good for all concerned. I hope you got out of it as much as we did. For me, it was a big learning process. Yeah, I'm hoping that as a result, we can build some business with the US and with some of your advisors on the call today. So, as I say, thanks for the invite. I just wanted to give you an introduction. Yeah, I've been living in Italy with my Italian wife since the late 90s, and I started this rental agency in 2000, and I've been building the agency ever since. And now we have an offer of 500 rental villas, and we've been working mainly in the European market until now. We worked a bit with the US market pre-COVID, but post-COVID, we decided to take a different approach. We want to work with advisors. We want to work directly with you guys, and hopefully we can build relationships in the US for our trade in the US and take it from there. So as you can see on the screen, this is typically one of our villas at sunset in the summer season. It's a beautiful location, Tuscany. We all have different ideas of what our Tuscany looks like, and that's probably because of the variation that's available there. So if I run through some slides now, and hopefully I'll be able to explain a little bit about Tuscany and about what we do. Just to say also on the call is Alex. Alex is my colleague from the office in the UK. I'm in Italy at the moment. That's where I live and work. I take care of the villas in Italy, while Alex will be looking after the requests that hopefully come through from you guys. So Alex is on the call today, and she'll be also briefly talking with you. So that's myself there, Sean. I founded the company, as I say, back in 2000. And Alex is on the call, and no doubt you'll hear from her later. I just want to run through 3 quick points. We're trying to rent Tuscany. We're a single destination operator, and there's we're very lucky that a lot of people around the world want to come to Tuscany. Some of the reasons why people want to come to Tuscany surround the major cities. We all know about Pisa, Florence, and Siena. They're just world-class cities, and people want to go and see the Renaissance artwork and be a part of the history that's there. There's also wine regions, for example, the Chianti wine region, but there's also other wine regions where Brunello's made, down the Bulgari area. We have a knowledge of all of these places, and we know the wineries to go to. We know the people to meet when you get out there, and we have the best villas in those towns. We've also got a whole range of villas, got 500, as I say, from one-bedroom cottages that sit on a vineyard with huge views of open countryside. Or you've got multi-generation, family-friendly type villas if people are looking to do a bit of a party. I can see there on some of the photographs, the one in the middle, it was a COVID photograph. And you can see that's Florence, that's from the Ponte Vecchio. And that was during COVID. There's absolutely no one in the photograph. We were allowed to send a photographer to photograph Florence with no one there. It was quite eerie to see the photographs, but if you can ever find Florence that empty, I doubt. But that's a beautiful photograph. Underneath, you can see a vintage bike race that's going on in Italy. In fact, it's going on this weekend coming. There's all sorts of initiatives and programs that we know about that's happening in Tuscany that we would be able to help you with. Just discussing, okay, so people come to Tuscany. Some people choose to use different types of accommodation. We're only in villas, so we rent out villas. And I've picked out some ideas here of why clients like to rent the villas. They like the luxury of the privacy and the space around. They can spend time together in privacy, enjoy time with their family. In the villa itself, we can organise whatever services the guests require. We know that long-haul travellers coming in from the US, they're looking for maybe a chef for a couple of nights. Maybe they want breakfast made for them. We can lay on those services for the guest if that's what they're interested in. Also, living in a villa is slightly different, I think, also than hotels, because it gives you a chance to be part of the community almost for the time you're staying there. You might wander down to the local town, the local village. You might get recognized by the guys in the bar, or you might get friendly with a waiter in a restaurant. It's a type of place where you get out and you meet real people and immerse yourself in the countryside and in the place itself. And just to reiterate that, we're on the ground, so we know these places. We can advise where to go and find those types of experiences. So when it comes to dealing with us, we have 25 years experience because I've been here that time. Obviously, all of the villas are handpicked because I go and visit all of them. I do have some colleagues here that help me, of course, on the ground, but I know all of the villas. My team comes, Alex and the others in the team there in the UK come and visit the villas every year. So we have insider knowledge and in-depth knowledge of all of the villas and their owners. So we're able to ask for support for all sorts of different experiences that clients may need or special requests. Customized experiences, we can also lay those on. That's outside the villa we might be talking about. So if somebody wants to get a private hire and drive down to a winery and have a wine tasting, we can set all those up with you with the best DMCs in the area. Because we're invited on this webinar, and we thank you very much for that. We're going to let you enjoy the top rates of commission, which are up to 15%. So anybody on this call would get 15% commission on bookings. So I think that's quite a high commission, and I hope you appreciate that too. There's a couple of areas there. You can see we're very proud of our awards. We have FIFO Trust Awards, a 10-year award also. They're review sites, and also the Condé Nast Traveller. These last 2 years, we've been the highest single destination villa company. So there's other villa companies involved in the awards too, but we are single destination. So as a small niche company, I think we punch well above our weight. And we also have an award for this coming year too, for 2024. So we're proud of our awards there. Through our client base, yeah, we have testimonials. When we made this slide, we're up to 17,311. So we have many thousands of reviews from our guests. Working over the years, we've stored the reviews. We try and work with the reviews. Good and bad. If reviews come in that are not supportive of the property, we try and work with the owners to get those things right for guests. I wanted to ask Alex, if you can join us, Alex, here and just talk about this case study, because this is a client that or a travel advisor that you've been working with over the last year or so. Is that right?
Of course, yeah. So hi everyone, I'm Alex. I'm a villa specialist here at To Tuscany. My role essentially is to connect your clients with their perfect villa based on their requirements. And I'm also catered towards the US market, where my office hours run a little bit later just to make up for those time zones. So as Sean has said, I'd like to go over this case study with you all. So this is Diane. She's an Australian travel advisor. She first contacted us back in March 2023, where she came to us looking for a villa for 2 guests for a romantic honeymoon retreat. So she came through to us by email. Once we received her email, we then gave her a call and provided an over-the-phone consultation to discuss her client's needs and sent her our recommendations by email. So again, just wanted to highlight how important it is that we give people a call and we understand their clients' needs to our maximum ability. After that, we were then able to hold the client's villa choice for 72 hours at no cost. Because of the great relationship we have with our owners, we find that we can have a bit more flexibility. So we can offer to hold this, and in some cases, we can even offer to extend that hold as well, if needed. So if a client really likes a villa, we can definitely place that on hold for them. It's not a problem. Once she received the email of her hold, she was then able to book it easily directly through her To Tuscany account. So moving forward now, she has over 17 successful bookings with us, which is fantastic. And she earns top commission rates too on each booking. So she's a constant phone call away, Diane. We love her.
Well, that's great. That's a good illustration of how a relationship can start off and build, I think. And 17 bookings from her from nothing in 1 year. I think that's good going. So that's very well done. I like the way you say there, because 72 hours holding the villa, that means that the client gets a chance to book their flights or talk to their family. That when they've found their villa, maybe they've got a bit of organising to do, right? So we can just hold the villa for them until such time as they're ready to move ahead and make payment.
I think that's a really huge deal. I found that to be an issue when I was quoting villas. You would send out all of these really great proposals to your customers, and then you'd go back and then the villa was gone. So having the ability to hold it for a short period of time is incredibly valuable. And Rachel concurs with me. She just chimed in as well.
That's good. So again, that's just building on local relationships, I think, and working with the people on the ground. We have a certain amount of trust with them, of course, because we have this relationship we've built over years with them. So that's good to hear. This is a slide which is information about the portal that we have coming by the end of the month. This should be live. Is that right, Alex? The end of the month?
Yes, so 28th of October, fingers crossed, if everything goes smoothly.
Everybody cross their fingers. So it's an IT project, but it looks like we're on time. So that's a good thing. So we've made a portal which will be going live at the end of the month. There's an advisor program on there to try and help with some ideas that people might have, questions that people might have. And this will enable, hopefully, advisors to answer their guests with confidence, with their clients with confidence. We've broken it down, as you can see, some examples there on the right side, down into power adapters, drinking water, local customs. That'll include tipping, for example. People coming from the US into Italy may need to know some of these things, and we're trying to answer those queries. And so we have an advisor program with that information. We also have a section of unbranded marketing material. Well, the intention for that is, and we'd like your feedback, of course, as time goes on, but the intention for that is that travel advisors, you as travel advisors, can take that material. You can even brand it up yourself if you like and send it out. So you've got some material that you can use, some PDFs, brochures, and flyers that may entice clients in to book some villas in Tuscany, and that's what it's all about for us.
Sean, I have a question for you
Yeah,
about
sure.
proposals. This is, something that a lot of travel advisors talk about, which is the branding of that is on the proposal. So will you co-brand the proposal? And what I mean by co-brand, just to the extent of adding the travel advisor's logo to the proposal so that travel advisors can, communicate to their customers that this is, an effort being done by their agency.
Sure. We have these documents made, and they're made without any branding on them at all. Okay. So that means that if the advisor wants to use them without any branding, they're ready to go. They just download them literally from the portal, and then they can send them to their guests.
Yeah,
So
I'm not referring to the marketing materials. I'm talking about the actual proposal that you guys send over for the villa and any other services that you may be coordinating on behalf of the travel agent for their customer. So a lot of DMCs and operators out there use, either Travify or they use Axis or whatnot. And so or some of them just send proposals using whatever tools that they're using inside of their business today. It takes a lot of time for a travel advisor to take your proposal and then to plunk it down inside of an itinerary builder. So I did not use a lot of itinerary tools later in my career. I just relied on my operator that I was working with to add my logo to the proposal so that I could just send it off and get it off to my client quick, easy
oh,
peasy, and not have to
yeah.
recreate the wheel.
I think on the co-branding work, that's definitely the case for the DMC work. So co-branding is not a problem, and I think that obviously, we need a type of relationship with somebody to be at that level, but I don't think that's a problem at all to co-brand such itineraries from the DMCs at all. That shouldn't be a problem. I
Great.
can't see that being a problem.
Great.
When it comes, yeah. So there will be no such downloads here, of course, because these aren't proposals necessarily. These are a marketing material that I've got here, which we could also look at if individuals had requests about some branding material, some marketing material. We could also look at branding some of that for them. This we have to give you more information about when the portal's ready and when it's going online. If anybody wants to subscribe to the newsletter, they can just scan this QR code or the Facebook group. If not, we'll be sending out. Can we send you an email with these slides? How would it work? Can we send you some information by email? Is that fine by you?
Sorry, let me unmute myself. Yeah, this is being recorded, so the slides will be shown inside of our recording.
Okay. Anybody has any questions, of course, can contact us directly again. And the Facebook group's quite good because we're pushing out a lot of information. I know a lot of advisors from my experience while I was in both GTM West and East, they were saying the Facebook they use as part of their networks. So we created a group, and on there we'll be putting out obviously information, local information, and on this portal that's due to come out at the end of the month. So. And there's a newsletter to sign up to there if anybody's interested too. So with that, I'd just like to thank you. And is there any questions you think I can help you with, or is there anything that further information you'd need from me at this stage?
Well, I'd like to know what type of villas you guys offer, size range, rough price points. What are the types of services that you guys can um, tack on to everything? Did I miss that? So,
Oh, so
okay.
the the villa range will be from 2 people to 20 people. So we have, as I was saying, small holiday cottages, multi-generation family villas. We have quite a lot of villas in that range around the 12 people, 15 people mark. And then if there's certain events happening where there would be maybe 20, 25 people, we have also villas at that level. So we have quite a wide selection. With some of the bigger villas, of course, if there's events specified such as weddings, and there are I don't know, maybe a party for a significant birthday with the family going, that's also possible. We can arrange those things for you. With the services that can be run alongside the villa rental, really we can tap into all of the resources here in Tuscany, much like the relationships we have with the villa owners. We've also got wide relationships with DMCs. So we're working on, instead of just sending someone to the local winery, if you have a guest who is interested in wine, we can pick out a winery, of the top level, and we can get you in there for a wine tasting. If you want to go for if your client's looking for example, to take out a yacht for the day, we can do that and sail around the Tuscan archipelago. So the range of services on the ground is huge, and we have documentation, and we have like a flyer brochure which will inspire people into what type of experiences that they can enjoy on the ground. It's very difficult, of course, to make an exact program, although we do have examples of programs for 5-night programs, for example. It's very difficult to do that when what we're saying is we can offer something tailor-made. So it's really up to the guest if they want to choose to do certain experiences, then we can find supply for that.
Okay, I just wasn't sure how you guys work, if you also extend into providing any of those tailor-made experiences with drivers,
Sure.
guides, chefs, housekeeping, things of that nature, because it does make it a lot easier for a travel advisor to work with a villa company who can provide all of those services if they so choose. I mean, obviously I don't want to change your business model, but if you offer that, we should definitely make our TIS members aware of that. And then the other component is, if you are packaging other components that are local to the region along with the villa, are those components also commissionable to the travel advisor?
Yeah, so normally the in-house services, housekeeping, breakfast, lunches, dinners, then they're normally organized with on the ground, let's say at the villa. And they don't attract commission, but all of the other services that would be outside of the villa, they certainly do. So, for example, wine tours with private drivers, or some of the other services that are not held at the villa, because often we what we prefer to do when it comes to services in the villa is use somebody local. It might even be the owner themselves that are getting involved. It might be a local chef that comes into the villa, and that's very much working on a particular basis with the client, and which menu they require, etc. So those are normally paid for directly by the client
Okay.
to the villa and to the chef. However, when it comes to, as I say, services outside the villa, they're all commissionable. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, for people who are looking to rent a villa for a small wedding, Do you have contacts inside of that region for wedding planners that can be connected to the bride or the groom via the
Absolutely.
travel advisor? Okay.
Yeah, one of our conditions, we insist if there is a wedding, then you have to have a wedding planner, because we're not wedding planners. That's one of the things that we can't get involved with. You need a professional, and we again, once again, we have some good people that we can connect with and set that up. Do you
What
want to
is
have
the, go
you
ahead,
want
I'm
to have a
sorry.
wedding in a castle in the middle of the Chianti? That's the most romantic thing you could do. So the places are here and the people are already here. It's just a matter of connecting the ideas and the needs from the guests with what we have here.
What is the optimal booking window for travel advisors? That's asked quite a bit. Like, what is the best lead time to have the best selection? And then how far out do you book? So it's two questions. What is the
Yeah.
optimum time? And then how far out will you book? So, and then I have another question to follow up on
I
this.
love those two questions, and I think they're extremely smart questions because, of course, the best villas, what happens? They get booked up early. So so to say, when do we price up our villas for the following period? In January, this coming January, we'll price up for 2026, and there'll be confirmed prices that are listed at that stage. So that means that we're ready to book 2026 as from the middle of January, the middle of January coming. So we're about 18 months ahead. Right now, the bookings for next year are looking quite good. And normally the biggest period of booking, of course, as everybody knows, is the January, February period. But if you can manage to book, if you can manage to get your guests to book before the Christmas period, you get the best choice of villas without any doubt. However, we have new villas coming on the whole time. With the nature of 500 villas, we do get good availability into the summer as well. We've been doing quite good business in September for the autumn. So it's not said that you can't book also very late into the deal. But of course, you get a wider choice and you get the better villas the earlier you book. So I would advise, if at all possible, to book before the January rush starts. So, start making your requests before Christmas, and then we can sort you out with the best properties.
So
Does that
one
question?
issue that we have inside of
Yeah.
the short-term rental space is sale of the property before the customer arrives. And so while I don't believe that there would be a lot of turnover in villas, especially the larger size villas, how do you address that inside of your company? And really, I would imagine that there's two parts to it, right? So how do you handle that contractual piece with the owners of your villas? Like, are there stipulations there if a sale does occur because you have guests booked into it? Or, and then the other piece is if the villa owner has the right to terminate those bookings as a result of a sale, how do you accommodate those guests into new properties or provide refunds? Those are realistic things that happen inside of our industry.
I love that question. That's a question of experience. It sounds like you've got some experience, and had some experience. It's a very difficult situation. Of course, we're very happy to price up very early and get some business in early. But of course, as you're saying, inevitably things happen, and it might be a change of circumstance for the property owner. It may be there's all sorts of reasons that those things. I don't know why my screen's changed
I
there.
just I just stopped your sharing so that we could talk
Fine.
and see each other.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it could be for all sorts of reasons, circumstances changing. It does happen, happens to us too. Built into our contract is, of course, that the new owner must accept all bookings that are made already in the villa. But sometimes a sale pushes through that clause, because if you're talking about a couple of $1 million of a deal going on, then it's not going to be stopped, frankly, for a booking. So what would happen in those situations is that we offer the guests an upgrade. Built into the contract is also, should this occur, then there's a penalty to pay by the owner, which amounts to a fee of around 25% of the booking. So we have that extra money that we can use to rebook the client. So generally, we'd like to upgrade the clients as a way of apologizing, I guess, or a way of saying that, this thing's happened. It's very difficult. And so we would offer them something that's probably has a higher value. It doesn't always have to be 25%, but the client normally accepts and quite likes to accept some kind of an upgrade in those situations. Well, let's hope they don't happen too many of those.
That's great. I wanted to open this up to any questions from our TIS members on the call. Feel free to either put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. And of course, we'd love to see your beautiful face on the screen if you do have questions. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is have Sean put into the chat, or somebody from his team, how they can contact you once more, as well as your website address. Of course,
Sure.
they'll put the QR codes inside of the presentation and your details there, but this helps too for people who are on the call now who say, oh, I have a customer who's looking at this now. Instead of going back and waiting for the recording, let me reach out to them. So if you could
If you
just
wouldn't mind
put
to
that
drop that
into
in
the
for us, Alex, is that okay?
I'm on it. I'm on it.
So yeah. So I would hope that that we've provided some good information here, and I can't get the point across enough is that we're local on the ground, and that and if somebody wants a real sort of personal experience, something more immersive than sort of gliding through Italy and just visiting the points, if they're looking to really find out a bit more, then I think we're a good place to come to for a villa holiday.
Let me ask you a question. We have a lot of hosted travel advisors in our network. So that means that if you are hosted under Nexion or Departure Lounge or one of these host agencies, they need to have the commissions run through the host agency. Since you're already set up to pay agents the commission directly, are you able to facilitate payment to the host agency as an alternative? So it would be this booking number, this agent, here's the commission level, and then the host agency takes their cut.
Yeah, I don't see that as a barrier at all. No.
Okay.
Obviously, like I said, I came to GTM to open up this B2B contact. We've always worked directly with clients, and this is brand new for us. So we're opening up this the portal so we can give lots of information out to advisors. But of course, as different arrangements come up with different ways of billing, I think we'll be able to handle those for you. And then we'll be able to settle into a good pattern. But we're open to all sorts of ideas on that front.
And when do you pay commissions? Is it after the final payment or is it after guests travel?
So the commissions will be on a invoice basis, obviously, and once the balance is paid. So the commission would be when the balance is paid, we have the client locked in, as it were, because at that stage, that once the client is locked in, then the booking is secured, because once the balance is paid, we're ready to pay commissions at that stage. So not before the balance is paid.
Okay, so after final payment, but it can be before travel. As long as it's after final payment, then you guys will send out commissions within a set period of time.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for your invoices, right? It depends on how the advisor is going to manage the situation, because some advisors we know like to pay with the client's card, and some of them will be paying us and processing the money themselves. So
So
Depends
as
on.
an FYI for any agent, and this is just for your knowledge, Sean, because I know you're breaking into this B2B space, but for any advisor who is taking their client's credit card and then they are paying you and the markup is built in, the agent's commission is built in,
Yeah.
I would say that it is not common practice for an advisor to then send you an invoice for that
Okay.
commission amount. It is more common for the supplier to reconcile that on their end and then facilitate the payment to either the travel advisor or the host agency, depending on how they are set up to operate inside of their business. And if
Okay.
you want me to dive a little bit deeper into that offline, we can have another
Yeah,
conversation
that'd be really good.
because I think the biggest thing that is really creating a hindrance with suppliers that are trying to break into this market is how commissions are paid out and what is the process. Understanding the two different ways that at least advisors inside of the US work and in Canada and in some places elsewhere, but I would say predominantly inside of the US and Canada. So I'm happy to share some of that
That'd be great.
information with you
Thank you.
at another time frame. But I'm really excited you guys got to join us today. And we do have a hand raise here. So let's see. Rachel, of course, I could always count on Rachel. She always has great questions. Go ahead.
But not my camera. I don't know why. Fridays are never a good camera day for me. So I think you kind of answered it, and I was a couple of minutes late. I heard something
You're
about a
very
portal.
welcome.
Thank you. I heard something about a portal, but how is the payment process? And I think Sheila, you just kind of said that you can use a client's credit card. I was wondering if it's a lot of times for this type of thing, it could be wiring, it could be, is it a
Yeah.
client's credit card? Is there a fee for using a client's credit card that would be
No,
added to?
no, there isn't a fee. It's included.
Perfect.
And we are set up to take American Express also out of the US. So if the client wanted to use their American Express, that's also possible.
Great. That's a biggie because a lot of people don't take it. So,
Not in
and a
Europe.
lot of overseas suppliers make it a little complicated to make the payment process a little too complicated. So,
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll when it comes to payment, I understand that most advisors like to pay by using the client's card. That's certainly with the advisors, the few advisors we've worked with in the past, that's how they've worked. But we'll be open to suggestions. If bookings come through, then that's what we're looking to do. We'll facilitate them.
great.
Just to add on that point, sorry, we do also accept wire transfer for payments. So we can provide you with our bank account details, and then we can take the payment that way as well.
Great. I think Patricia has a question.
Well, so the payments would go to you and then you pay the villa, or does it go to them? It goes to you, correct?
Goes to us, Patricia. Yeah, we take the money, and then we pay the owner after the guests arrived.
Great.
We don't pay the owner until the guests arrived.
Okay, perfect.
It's a type of assurance for the guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm not expecting any problems to happen, but that's just the way we set up our contract, and so it seems to work for everybody.
Well, that's a great protection for the traveler. So
I think so, yeah.
that's really great to know. That was a great question, Patricia.
I have a very important question, Sean or Alex. Can you guide us on where to have the best plate of gnocchi?
Gnocchi. Of course, we can help you with any pasta or any dishes that you like. It's not a problem.
Tried and tested and approved most of the time.
And what wines drink as well? It being Friday, so
A nice glass of Vermentino, or yeah, that's
Sherman,
fine.
you and my husband will be sitting there together eating that. He loves it.
Good, Patricia.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to let the To Tuscany team drop off the call, and we will use the last 20 minutes of this call for our members to bring forth, any questions they have about TIS and, business challenges, etc. We really appreciate you guys being here today. I'm just really excited to present this to TIS. And again, Sean, just feel free to reach out to me,
In touch.
if you, have any questions. Thank you
I'll
so
be in
much,
touch for
guys.
sure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Nice to
weekend
meet you.
all.
Bye.